Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. So last year I did a video that was very popular. It was actually my most popular video, and I'm gonna recreate it. It's getting close to Valentine's Day, and I had so much fun doing it. I'm gonna try it again. It'll probably turn out differently. It will turn out differently because it's an abstract, but here's how we're going to start. I have my Pebble Beach archival ink, which this stuff is great, and my favorite ball stamp. I love this stamp to do loose florals in. I love drawing vases as well, but I really have fun with this little guy because, I don't know, it adds kind of a nice little finished element to the painting that I like. And it also kind of gives me a guide where I want my flowers to end up. Now I love this Pebble Beach color because if you were to use black here, it would be very stark like this. This Pebble Beach is lighter. It's just a more pleasing color, I think, for a ball jar. They also have like an ombre gray that's very nice, but I'm gonna stick with the Valentine's colors because that's the next holiday coming up. And we're gonna start with, these are my Daniel Smith paints with some pink. And what's fun about this is an any level painter kind of painting. I'm just starting out with some real squiggly pink floral shapes. I kind of like the hibiscus-y shapes, but you can really do, I mean, that's more like a tulip. You can do whatever shapes you want. And we start out with a light wash. You don't want to go really dark right off the bat. I'm gonna leave those. I'm not gonna have them touch yet. Maybe we'll do a big bouquet. Let's do another pink one over here. And now I know I'm using the same color, and I know you're supposed to vary, or it's more pleasing if you vary these things. I'm using a lot of water, but I'm going to come back in with little darker drops of paint in here. And then kind of touch these together and even add a few other colors while it is wet. I think I'm gonna, let's see, I've got a bright red here. I don't want to go too crazy too soon. That's where, you know, you would think abstracts are super simple. And they are, while they're very beginner friendly, you also don't want to come in with super dark, you know, overwhelm the whole thing right at the beginning here. So I'm going to leave these and even pull a little bit of this color out. Maybe move this around a little. Okay, we'll leave this and let these colors kind of blend out. And let's come in with a light purple. Now this too, when you go put some in between where the spaces you left and touch up against these other flowers, you're going to get a beautiful melding of colors. Oh, actually kind of like the shape of that one. I'm going to leave it like that. A bit iris-y, looking a little bit like an iris. Okay. And now this one I'm gonna drop a bit of purple in there. Maybe come in here with some purple. All right. And let's see, do we want to come in? Maybe I'll come in with a little bit of red And I still want to leave some white space in here. You never want to get rid of all of your white space. First of all, that's where the stems are going to come in. So let's add some pretty red, light red flowers here, and maybe plunk in a little bit of dark red. Get a little more color in here. This one's very dark. Just move some of this color around. Okay, and see how I'm kind of heavy on this side, light on this side. Let's come in with maybe some tiny pink flowers over here. And maybe even one hanging down over here. And we'll drop in a little bit of this pink. And now since I started, I love what's starting to happen here. Since I started really light and really wet on this, you can continue to drop color in, which is what I think is really helpful when you're doing this loose, abstract-y style of painting. This is very, very wet still. So you don't have a lot of control, but you come up with the most beautiful color blooms, summer blooms, just color variety when you do this. A lot of water, starting light pigment, and then dropping in more and more pigment. Now I'm thinking about dropping this. This could ruin some of these, or it could, ooh, I like that. This aqua color, let's see, I don't want to put it everywhere, but I will, boop, drop it in some of these purples. Oh, I'm liking that. Okay, let's wet the ball jar because, and if you look like this, I can go over this with water and it doesn't smear. I love it. Now I want to dry that because I'm gonna do some water effects in here. But this ink is archival and it's permanent when it's dry. So you can go completely over it with watercolor when it's dry and it won't bleed into your colors, and it dries very quickly. It won't bleed into your colors and it's just wonderful. All right, so I am wetting the area where the water is, wet water, giving it a water line and getting it wet. And it's not soaking wet because the stems will go crazy, but it's, you can see it, it's kind of glistening. I don't know if you can see that with the light. There's a little glisten to it. And I'm going to let it dry for a minute. And I will start, let's see, I'm kind of liking the way the colors are doing their thing. Let's see, maybe I'll do a few more little dark blobs in here with, where'd my bright pink go? I had a very bright pink. No, that's red. I don't really want to go with red. Let's see. Okay, there's my, it's not an opera pink. Okay, I don't want it soaking wet to cause like, then it'll get rid of some of the color in there and do some funky stuff. Let's see. Go around here, create kind of a, this I like. Sometimes with this method of painting, I really struggle to not destroy the things that I really love in there. It's just kind of fun. It's fun to see what your watercolors do too, how they move. There we go. And this, like a little more color in here. Boop. Wonder if I should even drop a little more purple. Drop a little bit of this in here. Okay, purple, yes, yes. Let's do a little more of the purple. Okay, do some of that. Because in here, you've got the underside of these flowers are catching a little bit of shadow, or there are shadowy areas in the flowers. I don't want to completely obliterate what I love about these, you know, the pretty patterns that are going on. Let's kind of pull these out a little bit. And you can kind of move the color a little bit yourself if you like. All right, let's see. A little deep center in here, deep center in there, one in here. These are all facing different directions. This one's kind of coming down. So you don't necessarily have to do the center right in the center of the flower. All right, good. So that's nice. Now let's get in here. This should be about ready. Let's get some green and do, now what I also like when, I hope that's tiny enough, when I'm doing stems, I'm going to use a little bit pointier brush. Let's use a pointier brush. I love to just touch a bit of the flower and let it go into the flower and put some green in there. Okay, let's see when we hit the water here. Yeah, it's still a little too wet. Change that to a little leaf. Okay, so let's see, we'll put a little stem here, coming down here. I'm gonna wait and let that dry a little, but bring some of these stems down here. And on the stems, you do want to vary the color. Because all one green looks fake, number one. You need to put 2 or 3 greens in these stems. So I go between like a spring green with more of a blue green, and even, let's see how that, touch that just a touch. Green and purple make such a pretty, they bleed nicely together. Okay, there we go. And let's see, that one's real blue, but that's okay. Let's see. It's gonna go up here, even one here. Now let's get some of this, bring some of these down. I don't mind that little line of green in the water because it could be reflections, you know, water reflects what's around it. You could even put like pink up here to reflect off the flowers. let's see, let's get a nice stem going over here. And even some little leaves coming off of there. I love little stems that kind of bow over. It adds a nice lyrical quality, I feel like, to your painting. And all right, so let's not forget these up here. Bring this down here, and this one comes down through the middle here. Okay, nice. Now I want to put some cute little leaves in this one. Now you can have little leaves that come out and are not pointed at the end, or you can use the pointy end and go like this, do some cute little pointy leaves, but it just adds a nice little touch. I kind of like the ones that come out. Have one up here, have 2 or 3 that go together, boop. And this one is the bluer one. We'll just kind of add a little tail to that. And I'm not going to do any big leaves in here today. Just going to kind of leave it like that. It's got that Valentine, the Valentine colors vibe going on. Now, it is still quite wet. So if you want to go in and add more color, I would add a lot of color and a little water, because if you add a ton of water, it's gonna go crazy and really mess up your existing color there. Say watercolor, I am learning, is all about water control. It just, if you learn how your pigment affects it at different levels of drying, you've won a huge battle with watercolor. Now, if I fiddle with this too much, I am gonna really lose what I love about this, the wild variations that I have in here. So I'm gonna really fight myself to not mess with this too much. Although I feel like this could use a little more bright red. That color really, really faded. And this one's pretty dry, or drier. So let me see. I don't want hard line there. I do like that red in there. I might even add a little touch of it in here. Again, not wanting to obliterate the light pieces that are showing through. Now, if I did lose too much light, like in here, or even in here, it looks like, you could come in, dry your brush, and have it just rinse it, make it clean, and pull out some areas to give it a little pull some of that dark out so it doesn't dominate. And here, I'm not crazy about my little the way the dark and the light look together there. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to go through, I'm not really liking that purple dot right there. I'm going to put one here too. Let's see, in the middle of this. And maybe just going to pull that out like a shadow. All right, little guy, that's kind of cute. And now the green is drying super light. Let's go over with a small brush or a pointy brush and get in a little bit. I'd like to get in a little bit more dark green. Let's see what I have here. That's real dark. All right, so we're gonna come back in. Just kind of darken that. Add a little bit dark green in here. A few more tiny leaves. I don't want to go with the big leaves today. Feeling like kind of a delicate Valentine painting. I do. I like those little leaves. Okay, now, if you want to, this is a little weird. I wonder if I should, let's see. Oh, I'm just kind of leave it. Let's leave it. We want to do a little bit of reflective qualities here. I'm just going to come in with like a light purple to kind of give this container some shape. So it's just going to be very light. Went a little overboard here. You can actually take your, let's see, I can tap that since it's, there we go. I mean, I want it very light, like a hint of purple. There we go. We're gonna even a little purple up in here, and then let's see, I'm gonna get that line to disappear. And you know what? I'm gonna do a little touch of blue over here, not purple. Why? Because, as Bob Ross says, it's your world and your painting. There we go. And I want to do, we don't want this to just abruptly, oh, that was too dark. Don't you hate it when you're rolling right along, you're really happy with your painting, then you throw a piece of paint in there that you didn't want in there. There we go. And I am, again, gonna take out some reflective areas. There we go. Again, come through and just want part of that to look like reflection off of the ball jar. There we go. Maybe even a touch of reflective light there. There we go. And now to ground it. Oh, I'm happy with the way these colors are bleeding together. I hope you like it. Just wanted something with the pinks and the purples and the blues, because it's really cold outside and it looks very purpley and blue out the window with the snow. So I was in a mood to do this beautiful Valentine painting. All right, there we go. Now, I always like to ground the painting. I don't like it to be floating there crazy. So let's see, I'm gonna pick even like a blue that's not in there right now. Mix it with a touch of my purple. All right. I think I'm gonna want to purple that up a little where it there we go. Because if I did a different color, and this is a nice light version of this, plus it's kind of my favorite periwinkly color. When I darken this, I'm even going to darken it in here a little because this is see-through and it would kind of be a little darker under here. Kind of pull some of that up. There we go. Ooh, I'm happy with that. I'm gonna leave it. Now the last year when I did the last version, I did go over it with some pens. I've got some of these Signa Uniballs. Let's see. Oh, I like. Okay, so this. Let's see. Probably shouldn't have gone around that. Now this one is going to come. Let me see about doing some real pretty. No, the red not working so great. Let's see about, this is the pink we were just using. And this purple, let's see, we're gonna, oh, I kind of like that. Maybe some purple dots. And let's see. Oh, I like this. What? I like that. Doing this with my finger. Let's do some cute. That one's going to go that way. Let's see about this one. I like that little one. And we'll do some, I don't know if this yellow is going to show on here at all. Oh, it is. Good. Do some little yellow. Little cute yellow flowers that are kind of just poking out of here, out of there. A little yellow in here. These are still kind of wet. Just kind of leave that there. Maybe a few yellow. There. And let's do, I didn't get this guy. Let's see. Let's see. I actually like this pink. So we'll go like this. Oops. That, and that. There. And I wonder, is this red gonna go around here? All done. Thank you so much for joining me, and I am going to put a link to last year's version up here in the top right corner if you want to see that and haven't seen it. So thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful day.